My name's Amir Ganaba. I'm Managing Director and Partner at Boston Consulting Group. So excited to be here with two of my friends, colleagues, to talk a little bit about the future of airports. We're seeing airports that do preventative maintenance see a 4 to 5 times cost advantage on their overall pavement maintenance. We're seeing baggage handling units last 25% longer when they're maintained early and often. But if an airport can't just be a builder anymore, and they've got to start being a long-term asset manager and an integrated developer, how do you maintain this asset base and actually maximize this asset base?
When you think about an airport, most people think about the capital expenditures. The truth is you have to think about a total cost of ownership. And when you think about a total cost of ownership, 25% of the total cost of ownership is actually in capital. 75% is after the capital projects are complete. So you have to think holistically as far as the entire life cycle. We need to think about it as a program for the entire total cost of ownership. So people who have done that, typical savings on total assets are 40%. And that's pretty massive when you think about the assets being saved at that rate.
I know, Mike, as the Chief Development Officer, there's a lot to build at LAX. You're now trying to figure out how to renew a large part of the LAX asset base. How should other airport leaders and other airport development officers be thinking about this as they try to put this together in some kind of cohesive system?
The first step in that process is understanding what we have, understanding the condition and extent of the infrastructure that we need to change out, understanding what is beyond the end of its useful life, and then bringing that into the digital world, bringing that into dashboards and bringing it into a place where we can quantify it, and then we can programmatically go after the replacement of that infrastructure. We do it more efficiently. We do it with way less disruption of our operations.
It's incredible how quickly the paradigm's changing, but you said something really key, the digitization, the data that you're taking in. Given that historically airports have operated basically in an analog environment, and being pulled into this digital environment now is a big change. What do you do? Because the average airport has 4 to 5 building models that don't talk to each other. 95% of the data never gets used. How do airports go from raw data to something that's actually usable, like what Mike talked about, like a digital control tower?
It's actually much simpler than most people can visualize. You dump all the data in a data lake, and you can go from that data lake into the dashboards and into visualization. It is a journey, but we actually mastered the art as far as how to get it done and how to articulate it by which we can see truly where the challenges are in the entire system via heat maps.
It's all about data-driven decision-making. And if you were to ask our maintenance team, well, what are the biggest challenges you have? What needs to be replaced? You ask 5 of our maintenance leaders, you probably get 7 different answers. But to drive this to something that is actually backed up by data, oh my gosh, we'll be able to make much better decisions. And especially as we're driving this into a programmatic approach, we can get that program right.
And data is driven by assessments. We need engineers in the field that actually can assess every asset we have, come up with the exact condition of the assets, and be able to articulate how to fix it and what the next steps are.
So I'm hearing from the two of you, it's not just what you build, it's how you take care of it. And more importantly, it's the data that you take in, how you take it in, and the story you're able to tell. How do you get people to actually utilize that data and make it part of their DNA? I know it's one of the challenges at BCG we talk with a lot of clients, including LAX, is how do you go from having data to being empowered by it?
The data has to be accessible and it has to be accurate. And people have to trust the data. We need to be able to update continuously the configuration and the condition of all of our infrastructure. And once we get the assessments right, once we go through a programmatic approach of replacing infrastructure, we continue with assessments and we drive that data to everyone who needs it. Then we've got a system that can really work going into the future. And that data-driven decision-making continues in perpetuity.
It's about a life cycle. It never stops. The assessment should continue the entire time. You don't just do the assessments, get data, and make decisions. This is an operational environment. Things happen, and as things happen, as things deteriorate, you have to have eyes on those assets at all times and truly understand what you're dealing with.
Well, gentlemen, it's an incredible journey that you're on, both here at LAX, and it sounds like most airports across North America is going to be following this path very soon if they're already not on it. So appreciate your time, both of you.
Thank you, Amir.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.